Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you. And I'm an energy advisor with a few of Energize Delaware's residential programs. I'm super excited on today. We have a great new topic that we're going to talk about in just a moment. There we go. Just wanted to get some information up there. So before we get too deep into the program, I just want to tell you a little bit about who Energize Delaware is and what we can offer to Delawareans on today. So Energize Delaware is a nonprofit organization, meaning that everything we do is all around helping Delawareans and providing a service. And our service is the service of energy efficiency and renewable energy services. So on today, we're going to talk briefly about a few tips for how you can save energy during the holidays. But if you have questions about getting some assistance, maybe with your energy bill, or if you have questions around any other building type in the state that you want to make more energy efficient, whether it be your home, school, church, whatever it may be, then you definitely want to reach out to us. And you can reach us at our toll-free number, which is 877-524-1339, or you can reach out to us right online 24 hours a day at energizedelaware.org. Again, that's energizedelaware.org. Here comes the change. So, as I was saying earlier, on today, we are going to talk about some things you can do in your home to save energy. And I just have 5 really quick tips for you, if you stick with me, that can help you to save energy. So are we ready? We are? Great. Let's go. All right, let me go ahead and kick this off with our very first tip, which is one of my favorite during the winter months. So actually, let me rewind that just a little bit before we actually jump too deep into the tips. I do want to say, it's a good job, or it's a good idea to actually write some of these tips down. These tips are really good for the holiday time or any time when you're going to have guests, family, or friends over at your house. Okay? All right. Great. Now all that's out the way, let's go ahead and get into this a little more. So my first tip on today is going to be weatherize your home. So before the holidays get here, before you even start planning the menu, the first thing that I would suggest is to actually go through your house and weatherize it a little bit. You're going to have more people in the home. There's going to be more moving around. If you weatherize your home before everyone comes over, then you've already taken out some of the work that will happen with heat loss in your home, because heat loss can be a very big thing and it adds to that electric bill. So how do you weatherize? Basically, you just go through the house and you're looking for different areas where you might have air leaks or where you could be wasting energy. So let's start with those air leaks real quick. So the main location where you would find air leaks would be around the frames of your windows, frames of your door, anywhere where you feel little drafts and little air that might be getting in. So you can take care of those with a few things. I'm going to show you some options real quick. So there's spray foam, and I love spray foam because it actually quickly will fill any large gaps you might find in your home. There's also our standard caulk, with or without caulk gun, for areas in your home where the seal on the window or door may be coming loose. You can actually buy weather stripping, also known here as foam seal. And here's an example of how that works on the back, just in case you are curious. And then lastly, for those that might have entire drafty windows, you can purchase what's called a window insulation kit. It's really just a very large piece of plastic with some double-sided tape, but it's going to block off if there, again, if you find that your entire window may be drafty or cold. And one way to know that is if you see your curtains moving and you're not moving them. All right, so definitely take a look at those options. Some other things you can do are if you have a chimney, you definitely want to block that off when it's not in use. That's a great way to prevent that heat from escaping through your house. Also, double check all your windows and doors. This is a really good idea to do before guests arrive, as well as once the guests have arrived, right? Making sure everything is tightly sealed, tightly closed. And then lastly, just making sure that if you're able to weatherize your home and make any HVAC upgrades, if you have an older system, definitely upgrading that to a more energy efficient one is going to be a great energy saver. All right, let's keep this train moving. Our second tip is to choose efficient decorations. All right. So to those of you that love to have these amazing lawns, or maybe you do these beautiful trees, or you just decorate your house like a winter wonderland, whatever you do, make sure you are choosing efficient decorations. All right. And by efficient, I mean energy efficient. All right. First thing I want to suggest is LED lights. So light bulbs come in all different forms, right? Regular light bulbs. So do your decoration lights. So try to make sure that you're choosing LED when you're purchasing. Some other options that you can also purchase that are energy efficient are fiber optic lights, right? If you've ever been to, the first thing that came to my mind was the circus, where you get the little wands with the lights on the end. Those are called fiber optic lights, and those are definitely more energy efficient than standard incandescent decorations. And the last one, if you look, you'll find it. There are solar powered decorations. Yes, I said it, powered by the sun. Best way for you to have these decorations running, because there's no charge for you. They would actually charge during the day when the sun is out, and then at night, they would automatically do their thing. So definitely look into those options. A few other things you can do are you can look into smart plugs. And smart plugs are a great option to be efficient because they allow you to control the decorations when they come on and off. Also, the smart plugs usually have a mind of their own. And if they recognize or realize that no one's home, they'll turn the decorations off. So definitely look into some smart plugs. You can also look into, I knew I had one over here, a timer for your decorations, right? So just put them on a timer so they automatically come on at a certain time, automatically go off at a certain time. Great energy saver because you don't have to worry about forgetting, leaving them on, or forgetting to turn, well, same thing, forgetting to turn them off. All right, and then the last thing I want to mention is, don't hit me. I know it's a little old school, but you can always use candles. Now, I want to say with the candles, it is more of a safety concern. So you make sure you put them somewhere where they can't accidentally get knocked over or someone else might bump into them. But candles are a great decoration, little old school and vintage. But along with that, they also help to keep you warm, right? And we could use a little extra warmth during the winter. So the warmth of the candle can save you some warmth from using your HVAC system. So think about candles as a lighting option this year. Moving on to tip number 3, which is cook to save. All right, cook to save energy. So what can you do? One thing every holiday seems to involve is its own food, its own feast, its own festival, because food brings everybody together. Now, but cooking a lot in one home can be an extra cost to your energy bill. So just a few quick tips of things you can do to help save energy while you're in there whipping it up would definitely be to cook several dishes all at once. I know it can be a challenge, especially if I've got any Chef Boyardees on that are like, oh, no, this has to go in at this degree, this has to go in at this degree, this has to go in at the bottom and the top. If you can work all of that out so that you can put more items in at once, you will save more money. Why? It's going to cut down on the cooking time for one, right? Now we're not cooking from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. Maybe now we can cook from 9 to 12. So you're able to save some money there. It also saves you on preheating or having to change the temperatures on the oven so much. And so my last tip with that would be to make sure that you are resisting from checking in on the food. Look, I grew up and watched many of people cook in the kitchen, and I know some of these will break cardinal rules, but if you can find a way around it, you could save some energy. So, and what I mean by resist from checking often is those that like to keep opening the oven and you want to poke stuff, you want to check stuff, try to keep that to a minimum. The oven works similar to the fridge in the fact that every time you open the oven, you're letting some of that heat out. So now the oven has to work a little bit harder to get that heat loss back. So try not to peek in there too often. Also, again, timers are a huge help. I want to say congratulations to every expert cook out there who doesn't need to time anything. You can just look at stuff. Congrats. For people like me, no. I need to know how long this item's in the oven. But timers help you to make sure the food's not burnt. Don't tell my husband. And they also help you to make sure that the item's not in too long and that you can be as efficient with your cooking times as possible. Lastly, with cooking to save, make sure, and this is a newer tip that I've actually learned in my own adulthood, before you put leftovers in the fridge, make sure they are room temperature. You do not want to put any food in the fridge while it's still warm. Now, I always knew that, but I just assumed it was because of, something with the food or blah, blah, blah. But actually, it also helps your fridge to be more energy efficient. If you put warm food in the fridge, it causes the fridge to work harder for longer because it's going to recognize the change in temperature. So wait until it's cooled all the way down, then put it away. All right, let's move on to number 4. Be a smart host. So I don't know about you, but I do end up hosting some holidays, right? And usually when you're the host, there's a lot for you to do. You have to run around, you're catering to people. So in all of your hostly activities, it also makes you the host of energy efficiency. So be a smart host. So a few tips while you're hosting. Number 1, turn down that thermostat, right? Before everybody arrives, turn it down a few notches. Now, I normally do this anyway. And of course, the first few guests are going to make the same comment. And by first few guests, I usually mean my mom when she arrives. I love you, Mom. Hopefully she's not watching. But when the first few guests arrive, they may reply, it's a little chilly in here. But as more guests come, guess what they all bring? Body heat. And that body heat will begin to warm up the space. It'll begin to warm up your home a bit more. Now, I'm not talking about turn down your thermostat to like 50. Let's not scare everybody, but you can definitely turn it down 2 to 3 degrees before your guests arrive. And if you're bold, maybe even 5 degrees and put on a little sweater. But definitely turning down that thermostat is going to save you some energy because the biggest user of energy in your home is heating your home, right? That's usually, for most households, that's about half of your electric bill. So definitely turn that down some. The other thing that you can do as host, if you're giving away any games or if it's the time of year where you're doing presents, think about buying some energy efficient gifts this year. Say what? Yeah, I said it. So Energize Delaware has a marketplace where you are able to purchase some items at a discount cost. But there are also other, you can get items at Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, and some suggestions I have. If you're more of a big spender or if it's a big gift, you could buy Energy Star appliances, right? Okay, it's a big one, but I figured I'd mention it. You can also buy other items that are needed in the home, like smart strips. Sorry, it might be a little hard to see. LED bulbs, and there are all different kinds, right? If the person is a gamer, smart strips are actually a very good gift to give. And if you've seen any of my previous workshops or tapings, and I talked about smart strips, basically, they're really good for electronic devices because they prevent something called a phantom load or vampire load, which is any item that's plugged in, but not on, and still drawing energy. So gaming systems are really big for that. So that's definitely a good gift there. You can also buy water saving measures like new shower heads or low flow faucet aerators. So just a few thoughts. And if you'd love more tips, feel free to reach out to Energize Delaware, and I can definitely give you some more energy saving gift ideas. All right. The last and final tip I have for you on today is prep before you travel. So I talked a lot about what you can do in your home, but I understand that for some people, the holidays mean I'm out. Maybe you go to a warmer climate, or maybe you visit friends and family. So with that, there is a few things you definitely want to do in your house before you leave to go on vacation or travel. So the first thing is, along with turning down your thermostat. I'm not going to mention that one in this one, but I guess I just did. But you definitely do want to make sure you turn down that thermostat while you're gone from home. But you can also turn down, or if you're gone for more than 2 days, turn off your hot water heater. Your hot water heater is the second biggest user of energy in your house. And if you're gone for travel and everyone else is as well, and your home is empty, then no one is there to use the water. And with a tank style water heater, whether you're home or not, it's going to cycle on and off to keep the water warm. So save yourself some money, turn it off so that it's not doing what it does while you're away from home. The other thing you can do, and this is super easy, unplug devices. So begin to go through your home and look at everything. And when I say unplug devices, I mean anything except the fridge, right? The fridge needs to stay plugged in, everybody. But you can definitely unplug electronics. If they're on a power strip or a smart strip, then you really don't have to, because that's going to prevent that vampire load. But again, while you're not home, we're trying to prevent your these items from drawing energy, even though we're not using them. So definitely unplug anything. And then the last tip I'm going to give you, this is holiday time, right? That fridge might have a bunch of leftovers. Either way, you want to prep your fridge before you leave. So first thing you want to do is clean out the fridge. Any food, anything you know that's perishable and probably won't last the time you're gone, let's get it out of there before you go. And the reason we're going to do that is because we're going to turn the fridge down. Now, I'm not talking about turning it all the way down to off. That's not a good idea. But definitely you can turn it down a few notches, a few degrees. And the reason for that is you're not home, so no one's going to be opening and closing the fridge, right? Which causes that loss, again, of air. So by turning it down, the food in the fridge is going to stay the same temperature. So we're all good. It's going to stay the same temperature. And again, there's no loss of that air because no one's opening and shutting the fridge. So your fridge doesn't have to work as hard. And again, you get to be the awesome energy saver that you are. So really quick, I'm going to run through those 5 tips for you again. So first tip, weatherize that home. Secondly, choose efficient decorations. Third, cook to save, right? Then I want you to be a smart host along with beautiful or handsome. And then lastly, prep before you travel. So there are your 5 tips. I hope you will begin to apply some of those. The holidays are a great time, and it should be a time of joy. It should be a time of laughter. It should not be a time of fear of your electric bill. So hopefully you enjoyed some of those tips. One last tip that I have for you, I didn't even get a chance to include it, but I do want to remind you, it's always a great idea to have an energy audit or an energy checkup of your home. So if you are interested, if you have not had an audit yet, you have not had a checkup, go ahead and do it before the season kicks off. All right. So you can do that and get more information by going to our website, energizedelaware.org, or by giving us a call at 877-524-1339. And with that, I just want to thank everyone again for tuning in on today. Hopefully you heard some tips or something that helped you. Feel free to share this video with some other family members, with other people that host and do for the holidays, so they can share as well. If you enjoyed everything on today, you do want to come back and tune in again. All right, our next show will be December 2nd at 2 p.m. I'll be announcing those topics shortly. So please stay tuned to Energize Delaware on Facebook and Energize Delaware on YouTube. I appreciate you stopping in today and listening to everything, and hope to see you back again on Thursday, December 2nd, when we talk about a new topic and some more energy efficiency. Have a great day, everybody. And from Energize Delaware, if I don't get to say it again, happy holidays. Bye.